What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you are watching TW Motorsports, and today I figured we would go through the shop. Why? Because I haven't had a ton of time out here, guys. I don't have many videos for you, to be real honest with you. And I'm gonna talk about why here in just a second, but also I've got some parts in that I'm excited to talk about, show you guys. Some of you are gonna be excited about it. Some of it's been a long time coming that my OG guys are gonna be really excited about. But we're gonna walk through the shop. I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff we got laying around, some of the stuff I'm gonna try to eke my way through and work through. And eventually we'll get to all of it. I don't know how long it'll take me, maybe take me the next 10 years to finish all the stuff that I got going on in here, but we're gonna work on it a little bit at a time. But anyway, I figured we'd walk through. Guys, why have I not had any time out here in the shop? Well, actually last weekend, well, at least last weekend when I'm posting this video, we went to TX2K. Now, last year, I showed you guys a video there. I took not a lot, but I showed you guys some videos and some footage from TX2K. But this year I decided I didn't want to take my camera. I just wanted to go and have fun and enjoy it. So we went Thursday, we drove down Thursday. It's about 6 hours from here. We were there Friday, Saturday, came back Sunday. Saturday, it kind of rained it out, but we were able to go Friday. It was really cool. Kohen enjoyed it. The whole family enjoyed going down there and just getting away. Like I said, I didn't want to take the camera. I didn't want to do any of that. So haven't had a ton of time out here in the shop. Now I've started some videos and you guys are going to see those in the, maybe when we're walking around, some stuff that's going on, but I haven't had any chance to finish anything. So I thought, you know what, it's a good time to go through and talk about some of the stuff that I've got coming up. Hopefully you guys can get excited about that and tune in for those videos. So we're going to start with the elephant in the room, which is the last video I posted. And the reason why I ended it without finishing, because I didn't have time to finish it, or at least Kohen didn't have time to finish it. I've been helping him a lot because there's some stuff that he's needed help with on this project. But yes, that is his Corvette. Yeah, we have yanked this thing apart, made a not running car out of a perfectly good car. And we had a little bit of trouble getting the transmission lined up and the converter to seat like it was supposed to, but I didn't show you that in the video. It's just a really tight fit. Okay, so we're in the process of going back together, and you guys will see that in a video coming up very soon. But yes, Kohen's car is still apart, but I'm giving you guys some real-time footage. There's going to be some stuff that goes back in time in a couple videos. Like I said, I've started a couple videos, but yeah, that's what's going on with his car. Now, while we're on the subject of his car, we're on a little bit of a timetable with it, and he threw more in the mix with these parts that you see here, these boxes, and guys, there's crap scattered everywhere, but he went ahead and bought all the parts to install the cam in this car, and he only wanted to have it tuned once, or at least once right now, and it really needs a tune when you put a converter in it, guys. It's just not going to drive like it's supposed to, or shift at the right RPM if you don't do a tune. We had the cam, we bought that for him for Christmas. He just needed to buy the other stuff. So he ponied up and bought the rest of it. So we have another project after we get the trans and whatnot back in, which we're in the process of, to put the camshaft and stuff in this car. Now he's got everything except just a few gaskets. I mean, we're very close with the parts that he's got here. So he's excited about it. I know he's excited. We've had some issues getting the rear cradle back in with how high this thing is, but we'll get it. Anyway, that's what's going on with that. The Moroso box that you guys see, that's been here in a couple videos. You may have noticed that. Guys, that is the 55 oil pan, okay? So the reason it's over there, and the reason we haven't messed with the 55 is we really need to put that oil pan on that motor that's on the engine stand and test fit it and the 4L80 in the car. Make sure everything clearance-wise is good. Once we do that, we're gonna yank that right back out. We're gonna take that oil pan off, and we're gonna put the F-body oil pan on, and that motor is going in the flat black Chevy back there in the back. So if you guys are wondering what the Moroso box is about, that's what that is about. Now, the trans mount on top and this trans mount, we're gonna talk about what that's all about here in just a second. But the MagnaFlow box that you see right here, guys, this is actually a catback exhaust system for my daily driver. So the 2020 GMC Sierra. You guys saw me put a cold air intake on that, and I said I had a couple things coming. That is a catback exhaust system that I'm really excited to install, but I've been waiting to wash my truck, and like, I hate making videos on stuff when it's dirty, and with my finger situation, I haven't been able to get it wet, but it's healing very well. And so I'm actually hoping to get that done in the next couple weeks, because I'm excited, and that's a huge box that I can get out of my way. Anyway, on to this rusty mess that we got on the floor. I was cruising Facebook Marketplace, and guys, I was planning on buying a set of drop spindles for the dually build, and these popped up used. They never popped up used. And so I went and nabbed them. These are a set of McGoy drop spindles. This is actually a 2-4 drop kit. I bought the whole kit because I bought it for 300 bucks. Just the spindles by themselves are about 500. So I saved money. Now look, they are crusty looking, but they would have looked like that after a week of being on the truck new because they don't coat these. So I was going to coat them anyway. So it's not a big deal to just wire brush those down before I like POR 15 or whatever. And I may end up dropping the back an additional inch or two. And if I do that, I'm going to need those shackles. So I'm going to clean those up too. Now the hangers, I'm not going to be using those. We've already got a flip kit. The back of it's already dropped, but these are going to be in conjunction with something else. I'm still working on that, guys. I don't know what's going to go on there, but I'm going to clean these up and get those painted. So that is what that is all about. And like I said, this stuff being scattered all over the floor and tools out and whatnot makes me absolutely nutty. But moving on, I'm going to talk about this yellow and blue box right here when we get over to the 54, but I've got the OBS mirrors back from paint. I told him I just wanted them black, so I was waiting for when he was painting some black, and that's the reason I got those back and none of the other parts yet. If you guys remember, we took a bunch of parts to my painter, and we'll get over to that in a minute, but I took him the mirrors because I wanted those painted just black, and he happened to be painting a black Corvette in a black truck. So he knocked those mirrors out for me while I was doing that. The white piece that you see is really exciting. That is for the dually over there. Guys, I bought a new front bumper, I bought a new bumper cap, and I bought a new lower valance, and I've been waiting to install that all based off this piece. You cannot get these painted to match. You have to sand the texture off of them. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but it looks nicer if you do, and paint it. So that's what I had my painter do. He painted that piece, and he's painted it twice now. The first time he painted it, he burned through the clear when he was buffing on it, which is incredibly hard when there's nothing to hold on to. He just kind of has to tie that to a table and buff it. It'd be way easier for him if it were on a truck. So kudos to him for getting to get that back to me, but you will be seeing a video on that hopefully very soon. That will be a big piece that we can get out of the way. But the transmission mounts that I was just talking about, guys, why is that exciting? Well, check this out. See this? Guess what this is for? Yes, we've been waiting for a long time for this. Chuck at Finish Line did a great job, guys. It's taken a while. He's a one-man show. And because he's a one-man show, he can control the work that gets done, right? So he has some quality control when he's the one doing it. But one of the cool things that he does, guys, now is instead of painting these, he sends these off and has them powder coated. So it's a really nice kind of mattish black or flat black coating. Looks really awesome. Guys, I chose to go with a level 5. It is a 5-pinion planetary, some upgraded internal parts, nothing crazy, no billet input or output shafts. Should hold the amount of power that I plan to make with this thing and go a little further than what I plan to make with this thing. So that is why I chose what I chose. Is a stage 5. The other cool thing that he does is I ship my converter directly from Circle D to him. He installs it and then puts it on a dyno, not only breaks in the converter, but dynos it to make sure everything works before he sends it to you. So you're not getting something you're going to put in and have issues with. It should go as long as everything's right. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting to see that. Another thing you may be saying is like, well, wait a minute, why doesn't it have a torque arm output shaft or output housing? Well, that's because I'm not putting a torque arm that mounts to that. I don't like that. I think that puts a ton of pressure on that. And he even agreed he doesn't like when they're on there. They've been known to crack this. So we are going to be doing something different there when we get to that point. But guys, I'm pretty close to being ready to put this in. I was waiting on 2 fittings because we're going to be doing an AN style fitting and a different trans cooler. So we're going to be mounting it in a different location. So I wanted to get the fittings on because it's easier to put them on here than it is in the car. But before I put that in, there is something I need to take off under the hood. It'd be easier if I did that at the same time that I do the trans install. So you guys are going to see that in a video. I'm hoping in the next couple weeks, me getting, for one, I want this out of my way. Like I said, I'm trying to work my way through parts and get stuff out of the way before I buy any more parts, unless it's needed to do said part, right? The wheels, guys, look, these are the ones off the 55. They'll be going back on at some point. I've got the backs off the dually build there, and then the fronts. I don't have the hub spacers, See, the factory runs a 3.5-inch hub spacer in order to put the front wheel on. And I got to thinking if I could find a set of those, I'd go ahead and put the front wheels on so we'd have a matching set. I could just take them off when I got to that point to lower the front. I was really waiting to do all that at once, but like I said, I'd like to get some stuff out of the way. So we may end up, if I can find a set of those, I will be doing that in a video very soon as well. The 54, guys, I've just been enjoying being able to drive this thing. Remember what a pain it was? So far, it's got a little bit of a coolant leak, which I'm sure that if we look underneath, you can see it down there. I think that's a radiator issue. I actually think the radiator has a pinhole in it, which we may end up replacing at some point. But I did buy a few parts. That's what that blue and yellow box is over there. That's actually side mirrors, guys. These don't have mirrors from the factory. It was never a factory option, but I thought it needed mirrors, especially on this side. So I bought a set. I think the one on the passenger side is just going to be mainly for looks, but the one on the driver's side will be functional. You just can't really mount them in a good place where you can see from both sides. I had Kohen, that's why it's all marred up. I had Kohen out here holding them the other night to see. And then I did buy, actually, I got lock rods for free from my painter because he has a couple of these cars out there for parts cars. And I got the little lock knobs. So I'd like to do all this stuff that's door related. Oh, and I got new screws so my windows will go all the way down. The screws are too long and the regulator's hitting it. So I wanted to knock all the door stuff out while I had the door card off because it's a pain to get back on. I actually took this one off to put this piece of chrome back on. And guys, it took me like, it's way longer than it should have to put it back on. So when I take them off, we're doing all that stuff at one time. So aside from that, you could see like panels for the dually laying around. We're working on getting the interior cleaned up in that thing. You guys saw a video on the headliner recently. On to the green truck, guys. There's some stuff I'd like to do to the green truck. Right now, it just needs to be washed and driven. But there's a couple things I'd like to do, but it's going to require me selling something. I actually think that OBS is what I would pick out of the stuff to sell, but the next stage of this build, we've went a long way with this, so I don't necessarily want to jump in it right now, but the next stage of this build would require me selling something out here for a couple reasons. One, I want the room, and two, I need the cash to make it happen. The flat black Chevy, nothing's really going to go down with it until we are ready to put that 6-liter in it. Then guys, there's not a lot to do well, I say there's not a lot to do. There's quite a bit to do actually, but that is the next step on that. The truck over here, so the C10, I really don't want to mess with it a whole lot because it's running and driving. But guys, I do have that cup holder that my wife got me for Christmas. I'd like to get that installed. I still want to put a radio and some speakers in that truck. So other than that, right now, that is the plan. I know you guys saw me really get crazy and start putting parts on the OBS. We got new front and rear bumpers. We got a new hood, the fenders, the filler for above the bumper are all at paint. I think once we get that stuff back, I'm going to put it together. I'm going to buff the doors, do a little touch up on the doors. And guys, I really think I'm going to sell this truck. Look, if I could keep them all, I would, but you can see how crammed we are in here. And I don't love this truck, this platform as much as I like the NBS trucks. I actually like my green truck. I like those trucks better. I love the look of these trucks, and maybe down the road we build another, and maybe this doesn't sell. I don't know. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I'm saying that if we want to go any further with the green truck, it's either going to be a long time waiting on the cash, or it's going to require me getting rid of something. And I've really liked having one less. Like I have the trailer outside now. I like the fact that I can kind of work around like the dually. I've been working on it. I like that without having to, step over stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the plan as of right now, which you guys will see me put stuff back together. We're going to do a lot of cleaning on this and when we're putting some parts back together. But you can see I've got that front bumper for the dually. That's the bumper for the OBS, and then the door panels and whatnot that need to go back into the dually. So anyway, guys, I thought I'd walk you around, talk about why I don't have a video to upload tonight, and what's been going on. But we've been busy, life's busy, and the older I get with the kids and whatnot, it's going into summer. They're going to have sporting events and whatnot. Kohen's going to be graduating. There's a lot going on out here. And so I'd like to spend as much time with them as I can. This whole project with Kohen has been really cool, working on his Corvette. I'm excited to show him some stuff, him learn some stuff, and you know, just have time out here with his dad. But if you guys did enjoy this little bitty update on what's going on in the shop, go down there and hit that thumbs up button. If you're excited about one of these things that you saw me list, go down in the comments and let me know about it. Of course, like always, guys, if you are not subscribed, get subscribed so you can watch all this stuff go down. Stay tuned to see what we work on next.